Welcome back, ladies. So, since all of you gave me your feedback for this dining room, I just want you to know how much it has helped me in just making certain decisions in here and feeling so much more comfortable with this space and just pleased with the way that it turned out. So I feel like I've learned a lot of things just about space and why I might be feeling a certain way about something. And a lot of that is thanks to those of you who commented when it came to the setup of this dining room. So I did feel like there were certain things that bothered me about the space. I've also learned that I probably don't want to have the extra leaves in this dining room and just take them out once again if we are going to need to. So let's start with the fact that I did reach out to my good friend Jessica because she's so great when it comes to space and how to set things up, and she just has a knack for it. So originally I did have this hutch on this wall, but I don't know, it was just bothering me, probably because of how I had the dining room table set up in here. And I actually had the buffet table over on that wall too. But what was bothering me about that was probably the color. And because I can see more of it as opposed to when it was in the dining room at the other house and it was really dark in that space, the color didn't bother me as much in there. But of course, this room is just so brightly lit up that I can see all of the colors clear as day in here. So eventually I might be painting that piece again, and I might go with more of a cream tone to it because I feel like there's plenty of color with what's in here already. And I was told by one of you that what bothers you is seeing the backs of so many chairs. And I think that is what was bothering me about having the table east to west instead of north to south. So changing that and the setup of this table this way has made a world of difference. And actually, when the hutch was over where the buffet table and the mirror are right now, when it was over there, I turned the table and I actually had the table closer to this side of the windows. And then it was like a lot of empty space right over in this area. And I was okay with it, but only that space. I didn't like having so much empty space over here. So I wanted to share with you some things that my friend Jessica told me or she was texting me about. I'm going to show you her little mock-up of the room as well and just how helpful it was to me. And I'm basically doing exactly what she showed me in the picture. The only thing is, she said to put plates on the sides of the mirror, but I'm not one for plates on the wall. I mean, I've seen it done beautifully, but I personally don't want to have that on there. So that would just be something that I would not do. Now, maybe possibly some sconces on either side of the mirror eventually. I don't know. But I do like having that lamp over there. So I think I will just keep that as is. And then I ended up putting this plant over here because there actually is not an outlet on this wall at all. So you would just be able to see the cord like that. So I ended up just putting a plant over there to kind of conceal that. Plants are great for that. And then I also put this chair over here. I think that this is a nice little place to have this oversized chair and then a plant as well. Just brings some life into the space. I like being able to see the greenery in the mirror across just that reflection of it. And overall, I'm just so pleased with how this room turned out. And thanks to all of you, all your comments, it really did help me in just making the decision and also seeing the room differently, I would say. Now I have 2 boxes left to unpack. Those are my last 2 boxes. And we are not even a week after all of the furniture coming. So I feel really good about that. That is all of my pink depression glass. And for now, I'm just going to put it back in the hutch until I decide if I'm going to replace it with something else. I don't know. I just think it'll be fine in there for now. And I also wanted to talk to you about the sofa that I shared with all of you that, I just was nervous about it being something that I would tire of. I also received a question about why would I tire of it? Why do I tire of things so quickly? Someone responded to that saying that, it's a creative thing. Usually that's just something that those of us that are highly visual and we are creatives, we do like change on certain things. And that is something that I find I go through a lot. Now, will I be feeling that way about all of these spaces and wanting to change things around? I feel really good about just figuring out these spaces and wanting to stick with just the right setup, like finding that right setup that I'm looking for. So I'm not constantly shifting things around. And I feel really good about most of the spaces within the home and just being content with, finalizing basically a setup of something and just wanting that familiarity and, just sticking with it. So that is something that I've been thinking about a lot because for so long, I've just been shifting furniture so much, and it does get tiring, I would say. But I think what it comes down to for me, it's not just about creativity. It's also about things not feeling settled or things not feeling right in a space. Since this has been done, all of it feels right. I love the amount of space that I have to walk around everything. It just feels good. Let's go into the family room. We are back in the family room, and I ended up bringing this chair right here over to this side. And I like it so much more because I feel like it is just lighter, it's brighter, and having this cane back chair right here that I had in the sitting area, this one I feel just adds that neutral tone that I was looking for within this space. And so that's what I'm focusing on, and I do like symmetry, so that's why having these across from each other is really nice in my opinion, and it still offers plenty of space to walk around. So that is a plus, but plenty of seating as well. So for now, this is what we're going with. Oh, and that little nightstand. I decided to put it right over here, put a little plant on it, and it's the perfect little side table. I'm really not wanting something necessarily right here yet, but you know what you can help me with is this mirror right here. I can't remember, but I think I said I was planning on putting it above the sofa. Do you think that that would be a good placement for this mirror? See, as you can see, I was just thinking, would it be nice at the end of the hall? Kind of feels a little small to me to have at the end of the hall, I guess, like that. So anyway, because there's a window right over here, I feel like it would add some light into this space, and I just think that it would kind of break up all that blue and really highlight the mirror. So those are my thoughts. Also, this sofa is not centered completely on this wall. One of the reasons to me was because this is the center of like with where these lights are, as well as I wanted to center it with this fireplace right here. So that's why I did it that way. But here's some lights that can just shine down on that. It might be pretty in different lighting, you know, just to have that on. But anyway, that's why I don't have that centered. But it's also nice because it means that coming from this area right here, you're not really going to run into a chair if it were right there. It just feels better to have it the way that it is, I think. So I think that this was a good choice to center it under the lights and in front of the fireplace instead of the whole wall itself. And I would do the same with the mirror if I ended up having Jorge hang it right there. So let me know your thoughts. I definitely don't want to have artwork above that because it would just be too much. But I'm thinking that that's a really good place for this gold mirror, which, by the way, it's not even my mirror. It's a mirror that my aunt is letting me hold on to for her daughter because her daughter doesn't have a home. She's renting an apartment right now and they're not putting anything on the walls. But anyway, it was my cousin's grandmother's. And so I'm just holding on to it for safekeeping. And instead of it being in her garage, for her to hold on to it for her daughter, she said that I could use it for now. So I love gold mirrors and I love all of the detail of, you know, just the vintage styles that I've seen. So I always do keep an eye out for those, but of course it has to be a good deal if I'm going to get it. Something very inexpensive. A lot of these mirrors that are older, they are very expensive. And this is a really heavy one too. But anyway, I'm just thinking of putting it along this wall right here. So now let's talk about what there is left to do. This is what's left. Those are Jorge's boxes. So I don't have those to unpack. Those are all for him to unpack. And I'm hoping that, well, actually he said that he would complete it today. We have our guests coming on Friday. So I know he wants to be done with all of that before they get here. And I would just be so happy if he did that. Oh, and one other thing I wanted to share with you was that in here, we used those sliders and he was able to move the wardrobes all the way down to the end right here, which when they moved them in here, I think they centered it on this wall on either side, but then I asked Jorge to please move it down to the end. The problem with that was that if I was going to have this lingerie chest here, it was just so close to, you know, the doors. I mean, they still opened and everything, but it just felt really stuffy. It was just too close for comfort. So anyway, he ended up moving them down to the very end right here, and then now we have room for a hamper on either side. You know, we will each have our own little hampers. And then I really want to paint this wall right here, that blue color. And I think that that will be a very beautiful little addition to that space and just make it feel so nice when, you know, I open this door. The other thing would be some lighting. I can't stand this lighting in here. So if we could, you know, put something else up instead of the fluorescent light, I would be so happy. There isn't like an outlet within this closet. The only wiring would probably be up here. So I would like to use the chandelier that's at the very bottom of the staircase. I'll show you that and my thoughts on that. I love the lighting that it offers. And then also above this, I'm thinking another mirror, like my Grammy's mirror or something right there. I think that would be really pretty and just offer a little bit more openness when you walk into this space. So this is the chandelier at the bottom of the staircase here. And I think that it's nice for that space because it's shorter. Anything that would hang from there, obviously, Jorge would probably hit his head on. So I just think that this one would be nice. But that would mean that we would also need to find something to replace this one. And I'm not so sure what would yet. I mean, it is really pretty. So I'll just be on the lookout for something, some kind of light fixture to put right here, but I don't know, or in our closet. So that's just what we have that we are thinking about right now. Now this mirror I've placed down here, and I really like it. I love just being able to walk past and to see the staircase. It just, I don't know, it opens things up to me and just looks so nice walking down the stairs. So I think that this was a really great place to place it. Do you have a mirror near a staircase? The other area that I was thinking would be a really great place for mirrors was this wall right here. I just love the look of like being able to see a staircase and a mirror. I just love that look. And the other thing about it being any mirrors along this wall would be that it would brighten this hallway up. I mean, of course, the lights definitely brighten it up too, but there's nothing like natural light. And with the natural light that is pouring from the top, well, let's turn this off. Maybe it'll, correct it. There's the color correction. So if you can just envision, and I have this mirror down here, okay? But just some mirrors on this wall. And then I was like, is it going to be too many mirrors, And my mom said, remember in her house when she had the hallway before we did all of the renovations of that place, she had a hallway of mirrors, a hall of mirrors. And I mean, I just don't feel like I would regret putting mirrors on the wall because they just offer so much openness, light reflection, everything like that. So that's just been something that I've been thinking about, but I definitely love the way that this mirror looks coming down. Oh, and it also hides this right here. So that's another benefit, but let me show, trying not to move too fast because I don't want to make anybody sick, but let me show you going down what that looks like. See that? Well, it doesn't really look like anything, does it? But coming from this way, it does. La 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 la.